Breathe in slowly all the way up to your navel and breathe out. If you have a mantra, please recite the mantra Vaheguru, Vahe in, Guru out. If you're a Christian, your mantra is the name of Jesus. If you're a Hindu, Om, or whichever mantra that you practice. If you're a Muslim, the name of Allah. Breathe in nicely. Calm the mind. Make sure you're comfortable. There is beauty in diversity. This is not a forum where we ask anyone to change their religion. We don't need to. There is no reason to. We are all divine. Breathe in slowly. Breathe out slowly. Settle the mind, please. Settle the mind, please. Next week, we are going to start to take our first steps into inner peace. It will be completely, the Sunday evening sessions will be completely focused on meditation and how to calm our thoughts. Focus practice. And we're going to start taking the first steps. That will be next Sunday. It will be guided meditation. I will guide you through a beautiful, relaxing, spiritual journey. It'll be amazing, it'll be relaxing. Do share with others what we are doing on this forum. My spiritual master used to say that there is no greater sin than disconnecting somebody from their peace, from the divine. There is no greater beautiful karma than to connect somebody to the divine. It is a beautiful spiritual practice to connect somebody to the divine. Karbala, Soho Bala, Anta Baleda Bala. There is nothing greater than handing back a child that is lost back to the mother and father. There is no greater pleasure for the child or the mother and father. Our souls are lost in this Maya. This beautiful spiritual bird inside us is caged. It wishes to fly, to explore the kingdom of the divine. It is in bondage. Tied down by the Rajguru, Tamagun, and Satguru, the foot soldiers of the divine, of the Kali Yuga. Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Moh, lust, anger, greed, attachment, and pride. And with the help of the divine, as we progress, I am confident with the blessings of the divine that you will certainly start to experience the beauty of living in due course. I am confident of that. Focus on your breath. Settle the mind, please. And as a consequence, we live in nice homes, we have nice holidays, but the soul is starving. It's hungry, it's desperate to meet its creator. And we need to set the soul free, release it from the bondage. So next week our meditation session starts properly. We are going to bring our monkey mind into focus. Restore balance and harmony in our emotions, and free the soul from the cage of Kali Yuga. with the blessings of the divine. Relax your breathing, please. We are all together for a reason. This is our moment. We're a beautiful family. These moments do not come often. Where the message of the divine, the true path of spirituality, is shared with humbleness and love. Thank you for allowing me to serve you. Let's take our mind in 1521. In ancient India, Baba Nanak, with his disciple and his lifelong friend Mardana, had been traveling for many days and many nights. In the grueling Indian summer. Keep your focus on your mantra, please. Relax. Through many forests, across many hills, they traveled. The tender skies, hidden by the veil of the early morning mist, was a beautiful experience when they sat in meditation. Could everybody switch off their speakers, please? Focus on your meditation. Occasionally in the distance, the chanting of the village priests could be heard. And Babaji would ask Mardana, "Son, pull out your rabab." Rabab is a string instrument. In those days, rabab was very famous, and the one who used to play the rabab was known as a rababi. "Son, pull out the rabab. Let us sing the divine words of the Almighty." Such beauty in the words of the divine, such peace. You can just imagine. And as Baba Nanak would start reciting the Gurbani meaning the words from the mouth of the Guru, a beautiful peace would spread in the area, and people would gather to listen to the divine words of Baba Nanak. In the early hours, Babaji approached the village of Hassan Abdal. Hassan Abdal. It's a hilly area with natural water flows flowing beautifully from the mountains, providing cool water in the warm Indian summer. And finding some shade, Babaji and Mardana sat down and started to recite the Kirtan meaning divine hymns of the Almighty. Unbeknown to them, they were sitting under a mountain, a very large hill, on which at the top was another saint by the name of Baba Wali Gandhari. Baba Nanak sat and started singing. Slowly news spread that there was a saint in the area. And such was the unifying message of Babaji that many people from near and far started to gather to listen to the message. Remember one thing. At the lower level of your understanding, we have divisions. I'm a Christian, I'm a Muslim, I'm a Sikh, I'm a Hindu. Fine. But at the higher levels of spiritual understanding, all is one. We have our own ways. We follow our own ways, but we respect equally the way of someone else. As Baba Nanak sang the divine hymns, the gatherings got larger and larger. And people started to listen to Baba Nanak. And slowly the following of Baba Wali Gandhari became smaller and smaller, until he only had a handful of disciples left. He had built his dera. Dera means his temple, next to a natural fountain. And this fountain was providing water to the village. And in this way, he had total control of the water supply. As the wave of Baba Nanak's message hit people's emotions, started to cool the inferno of their hearts. Tapt kadaha bujh gaya gur sital naam diyo. The burning inferno of the heart and thought started to cool in the name of the Shabd. And listening to the praises of Baba Nanak, Gandhari got agitated. And slowly, envy started to run through the veins of this Peer. Peer is another name for a saint. First, a mild irritation, thinking that Baba Nanak's praise would diminish as quickly as it came. Then agitation. And as the praise of Baba Nanak became more profound, agitation started leading to anger. Anger started leading to bitterness. Bitterness leading to rage. And so angry, so insane, so mad he became that he started to think on how he could destroy Baba Nanak's fame and how he could teach those people that once came to him a lesson for deserting him. Little did he know that Baba Nanak was no ordinary saint. And in his rage, with a few of his disciples, they thought about stopping the water from reaching the people. So he pushed a huge boulder onto the flowing water, and water stopped flowing. There was no water for the cattle, no water for the crop, no water for people to drink. And in the stifling heat of the midday sun, people began to suffer. Frustrated and desperate, a group went to Babaji and told him what Gandhari had done. Gandhari was that peak on top of the mountain. Babaji replied to the group, "Go see Gandhari and ask him with respect if he could let the water flow." That people were suffering, animals were suffering, crop was suffering. But ask with respect. So they did exactly as they was guided to. They got to Gandhari, they clasped both their hands together and said, "Could you please release the water flow?" But sadly, sometimes pleading to the arrogant only feeds into their arrogance. The more they pleaded, the more arrogant Gandhari became. "Go and ask your new Baba to provide water for you," he retorted in arrogance. The group came back. They narrated the whole story to Babaji. Babaji pondered, and he turned to Mardana, his disciple. "Mardana, go to Gandhari, go with respect, and appeal to him not to torture innocent people, not to torture the animals, and to let the water flow. That I will not be here for long. Do not torture the innocent. That these people have done nothing wrong." Dutifully, as always, Mardana obliged and set towards Gandhari, step by step climbing up the mountain. Mardana had not even reached the top of the mountain, and he hears Gandhari shouting out, "Go back. Do not waste my time. I will not give anyone a single drop of water." Mardana came back and narrated the whole sequence of events. Baba Nanak Ji replied, "Mardana, go back and ask him again with respect." Again, Mardana went back, started to climb the high hill. As he got to the top, before he could make the request, Gandhari shouted, "If your Baba that you serve is so powerful, then ask him to create some water for you." Mardana came back and told Baba Nanak what Gandhari had said. Babaji closed his eyes and started reciting the Mool mantra. Ek Onkar Satnam, there is only one God. His name is the truth. Karta Purkh Nirbhav Nirvair. He is the creator. He is fearless. He has no enemies. Akal Murata. He is beyond death. He is immortal. Ajuni Sepang. He is not in the cycle of life and death. He is the Sahib, the King of Kings. Gur Prasad, with the blessings of the divine, Jap, recite, praise. Ada Satya, the power that existed before time. Jogada Satya, the power that will exist after time. Hebhi Satya, that power that is true today, that was true yesterday, that was true tomorrow, before time, after time. In all the realms, just the one divine, just the one truth. Nanak hosi bhi sach. Nanak says, always the truth, this one divine power. This is the Mool Mantra. As he recited the Mool Mantra, he looked at the villages. Do not worry, the divine will look after you. Nearby was a small stone. He lifts the rock and a trickle of water begins to flow. The people was astonished, overjoyed. And at the same time, the well of Gandhari began to dry up. This took him over the limit. Baba Nanak was sitting at the base of the mountain, singing the praises of the divine, and blind with rage, Gandhari, with a few of his disciples who stayed behind, leveraged a huge rock from the top of the mountains and sent it rolling down the side of the mountain. A huge roar was heard as this mighty rock gathered speed, rolling and rumbling towards Baba Nanak. The people on the ground, on seeing this rock, panicked and ran away from the mountain. Baba Nanak sat in meditation. As the boulder was about to hit Babaji, Babaji lifted one arm, placed his hand on the rock, and recited Sat Kartar. The divine is the truth. The creator is the truth. And the boulder stopped dead in its place. When Gandhari saw what had happened, he came to his senses. His anger disappeared. He realized Baba Nanak was. Rushing down, he fell onto the feet of Baba Nanak, begging for forgiveness for his insanity. Babaji lifted him, gave him a big hug, and he became a disciple. Listen, Gandhari, Baba said, men of God live in peace. Only in peace will you find the truth, and only from the truth will you swim in the sea of divine love. Today, that rock that Baba Nanak stopped can still be seen. It's a historical fact. There is a temple in the place where this event took place, and this temple is known as Panja Sahib, if anybody wishes to Google and look up. And that rock still bears the handprint of Baba Nanak. And that water that Babaji produced is still seeping up from the ground even today, although this event took place in 1521. And many hundreds and thousands of people visit this sacred shrine. So what is anger? Having a bit of anger is normal. We all can get angry from time to time. So what was this rage of Gandhari that we need to talk about? It's a cognitive, emotional, psychological, internal state of the consciousness. Not a temporary blip where we raise our voice, but a real issue. which makes a person blind to the inner existence of the beauty of their inner light. It's a condition where the tongue works faster than the brain. And in the scriptures, anger is likened to a thief that is lurking within us in the dark recesses of our emotions, our perceptions, and our interpretations. A thief that is always ready to find an excuse in which it can manifest, express, and expand itself. It's within all of us. Driven by Kali Yuga. Living in the three gunas, the Rajgun, the Tamgun, the Satgun, the three states of the mind. And what is the root source of our anger? Simple: ego. Nothing more. Ego. We can justify our ego in whichever way we wish to, but the bottom line is it's ego. So how does anger arise within us? Now there's a spiritual understanding we need to understand. First, there's the understanding of Kam, also known as lust. Now, normally we would relate Kam to a physical being, a lust as a relationship issue, a desire, a sexual desire, uncontrolled. But Kam actually has a more compelling, a much deeper meaning. Kam means a compelling materialistic desire to indulge in sensory temptations of not just the body. Not just the body. We can have Kam for homes, cars, holidays, any aspect, an uncontrolled desire. Kam is likened to clouds of lust and desires which are sprinkled all over us, whether that be for women, fame, looks, success, expectations, status, wealth, whatever. An uncontrolled desire is Kam. And any aspect of our unfulfilled desires will give rise to anger. So Kam, then Krodh. Kam, Krodh. Desire, anger. Unfulfilled desire, anger. Therefore, lust and desire is like hand in glove with each other. Krodh meaning anger, Kam meaning lust. They can generate from built-up resentments. We have many built-up resentments. Depression. In some people, the inability to express themselves. Other people, hypervigilance, always hypervigilant. In some, unfulfilled expectations. These are the lurking, the breeding grounds of this Kam, this anger, this Krodh. In some cases, a perception of threat. Frustrations, lack of feeling loved, possessiveness, jealousy, a feeling of hostility from a perceived threat, in Gandhari's case, and a whole host of other events in which our Kam and our Krodh, the lust and the anger, resides and picks and reacts. And consequently, anger begins to melt away the precious beauty of life within us. In the scriptures, it says, Kama karodha kaya ko gale. Lust and anger will destroy our body physically, as well as destroy us emotionally, and as well as destroy us spiritually. They are the two of the most dangerous emotions we have. Anger is like a raging bull in a china shop. It will destroy all our divine qualities. And when we are angry, we are blind to reason. And anger impairs our health. It destroys our peace, and it destroys the peace of others around us, our loved ones. And it destroys our wisdom. An angry person loses his wisdom. We will begin to lose control of our thoughts, lose control of our emotions. And in a deep state of anger, all sense of proportions disappear. Everything is just magnified 1,000 times. It creates conflict, creates confusion, destroys relationships with our loved ones, and decimates our relationship with the divine. And in that moment when we are under the influence of anger, logic goes away, love disappears, every aspect of our divine qualities all disappear. And what is left? We only have one moral compass that guides us, which is a highly charged ego. Remember, where there is no desire, where there is no calm, there will be no anger. And where there is anger, there will be an underlying desire. Understand this. In Kandhari's case, his anger was born from all the praises he heard about Baba Nanak. And the more praises he heard of Baba Nanak, the more threatened he began to feel. And the more that hit his pride, and the more anger was created in his heart. In spirituality, there is an understanding that there are 4 great rivers that flow within our body, in which we bathe every minute of the day, every hour of the day. There's the river of lust, which we've just spoken about, the river of anger, which we've just spoken about, the river of greed, and the river of attachments. These are the 4 great rivers that we all swim in, we are drowning in. These are known as Bhavasagar, which we spoke about a few weeks ago. And because of these 4 rivers, we are struggling to reach to the river of bliss, which is also within us. Jo Brahmande Soi Pinde. What is outside in creation is within us. But we have to search by using the wisdom of the divine and the blessings of the Lord. Once there was a Rishi, and the Rishi's name was Vyas. Vyas was traveling in a boat on the river Ganges. He had a long, knotted hair on the top of his head and a free-flowing beard. And a few young people were sitting on the same boat, and they started teasing him. The Rishi said nothing. And seeing that their taunts had no desired effect, they started splashing icy cold waters from the Ganges onto him. The Rishi kept quiet, said nothing. But when you torment a divine soul, there is somebody there who is looking after you. Santana dokhapaye te duhi, sokhapaye sadhante sukhi. The divine says, when one of mine is in pain, I am in pain. When one of mine is happy, then I am content. As the Rishi was meditating, a voice from his soul arose. Son, you tolerated all the abuse these guys threw at you. And now they have become physical by splashing cold water on you. Just say once, I will turn the whole boat upside down. The Rishi folded both his hands and said, my father, if you wish to do something, rather than turning the boat upside down, please turn their thinking downside up. Raise their thinking from the gutters. And this is exactly what Baba Nanak did in his own distinct manner. He turned the thoughts of Gandhari from the gutter right up to the higher excellence of divinity. Remember, in the heart of a pious soul, there is no anger, no revenge. In the Bhagavad-Gita, there are 3 gates of self-destruction: lust, anger, and greed. Arjuna once said, any person who can escape the 3 sins of lust, anger, and greed will escape the gates of darkness. Anger will take away the smile of your face. Anger will steal the joy from your heart. And someday, eventually, will become the greatest source of your suffering. Remember, true strength of an individual is not measured by their ability to react, but by their ability to control their reactions. When the winds of anger flow within our mind, these winds will extinguish our entire beautiful experience of life. So next time when we begin to feel angry, then it would be wise to see what the source of our irritation is, rather than just becoming a victim. Is it fear? Is it hurt? Expectation? What are the reasons? Look for the warning signals. Look carefully. We need to be aware of ourselves. If we are not aware of ourselves, then we will definitely not be aware of the divine. The journey starts from within. By and large, when we are angry, it usually represents the fact, signifies that we are attached to something or someone in a very personal way. And if we can identify the root source of anger, then it will be possible to subdue our anger. But we need to understand all the reasons for our anger. When we get angry, we make lists. When we fight with somebody, you said this and you said this and you said this and you did this and you did this. Wrong way. Don't make a list. It's much, much easier to handle anger in smaller portions. Focus just on maybe one aspect of your anger rather than creating a list. It becomes much more manageable. It's much easier to focus on one thought than to focus on a hurricane of thoughts that fly through us when we are really angry. A tornado, a spiritual, emotional tornado. When the flames of anger goes out of control, then it'll be very difficult to control. So how can we end our anger? Now, temporarily, people will say, take this medication, take that medication, this, that, and the other. But they're temporary. Absolutely temporary. Spirituality says only one: meditation. If you want to heal yourself, then heal yourself properly. What is the purpose of going to a doctor when you're going to go to the doctor for the same issue month after month, day after day? You want to end your anger? Naam. Because Naam kills calm. Naam is your meditation, your mantra. Whether that be the name of Jesus, whether that be the name of Allah, whether that be the Mool mantra, whether that is a Satnam mantra, whether that is a Vaheguru mantra, whether that is the Om mantra. Naam kills calm, simple. And then the companionship of the holy, divine souls, those who have lived and walked the path of divinity. And over time, as you meditate, that Naam, that mantra, that Shabd mantra will take the oxygen out of your anger. Believe me. You will be surprised. All the oxygen will be taken out of it. Kaam krodh nagar bha parya, mil sadhu khandal khandaye. This body, this village type body, is filled overflowing with anger and sexual desires. But when I met a holy divine soul and I went into meditation, they were all broken into little bits, all broken, all disappeared. Meditation, meditation, meditation. Sangat, Sangat, Sangat. Dip into the flow of Shabd Surat meditation. Meditation is like a washing machine that will clean the anger out of the mind. Shabd mantra is the only way you will cut the roots of your anger. Remember that anger is always one step away from danger. An angry person is a dangerous person. And in the realm of physical existence and the spiritual existence, anger is danger. Now remember, anger itself is not a sin. Okay, so yes, we will get angry from time to time. It's not a sin. But it's what you do with that anger that becomes sin. It's your reaction that will become sin. It's your uncontrolled thoughts and the words and your physical behaviors that become sin. Self-control is the fruit through which our spirituality, our soul, our relationship with the divine will become more beautiful. And the Bible instructs us. It says, take every thought, make every thought a capture into the obedience of the divine Lord. Let the divine Lord become a stronghold in our mind. We have one life. Take control of it, please. For too long we've been victims and prisoners of the 5 thieves. No longer. Become beautiful. You are divine. We are all divine. Remember how rich our heritage is. You are princes and princesses of the divine, each and every one of you. Each and every one, the princess of the divine. the princes of the divine. We just need to acknowledge and appreciate that. Become more aware of yourselves.